I think that we're kind of at a crossroads as to where we're going to go and what are we going to see moving forward. Are we going to continue to see more houses, more development? Are we going to continue to see the farmland, the trees, the orchards, the row crop? What are we going to see and what do we want to see as a county? And I think that if we want more houses, we're on board with that, and that's where the priorities are. If we want to continue to see what we have out here right now in Coyote Valley, there needs to be a way to keep that happening and make that happening, and that's what I think the ag plan will do.
Part of what drove it is just the astonishing loss of agriculture and farmland in the state of California. Over the past 30 years, the state's lost over 50,000 acres of farmland each year. So we're really trying to arrest the loss of farmland and take advantage of some novel programs at the state that link the protection of farmland with climate resilience. The Santa Clara Valley Open Space Authority partnered with Santa Clara County to secure a grant from the state through their Sustainable Agricultural Land Conservation Program to put the plan together, really a strategy to protect the last remaining viable agriculture in the Santa Clara Valley. They annually budget tens of millions of dollars to pay for agricultural conservation easements. And the funding originates from the state's climate auction revenues. This is through their cap and trade program. So they're using, again, climate auction revenue to pay for conservation easements. One exciting project we're working on is located in San Martin, and we're working with a cluster of landowners. Together, the properties encompass a little over 300 acres, and we're exploring the first phase of that that could come close to about $20 million to cover the cost of those conservation easements. We'll learn from the state in December if our application was successful, and then hopefully that'll lead to a phase 2.
Because of the cost of land here in the valley, and the ownership is not generally farming themselves, they're land banking. So there's a lot of growers in here. Most of the growers themselves do not own the property. What we do is we actually produce products or crops that are usable by the community. I think one of the things that is not talked about in terms of what we do is the benefits that we do. And so it's important for us to make sure that the people understand that what we do out here in the rural community can affect their life greatly, making it better.
As a short-term strategy, 2 points. One is we continue to work with, apply for, and try and get state funding through that same program, the Sustainable Agricultural Land Conservation. Internally, we've looked within the county, and at this point the county is considering a resolution that would allocate up to $20 million per year out of the county's budget just for ag preservation. And I think long-term we'd like to move towards some sustained funding. What keeps these programs going is long-term, dedicated, preserved, allocated funding, and most often that's a sales tax allocation or a transfer tax allocation or a parcel tax allocation at this point. Our long-term strategy is to use state and county funds over the next 2 years, build the program, and hopefully go out to the voters and ask for voter approval of a dedicated tax revenue source after that.